right, so check with your state if you're in another state and ask them where can you find the real estate docs for your state. Like we have Georgia Realtors or whatever. All right, so this is a purchase agreement, and a lot of times people ask me, all right, Anthony, like where does it say that my buyer can use their closing costs for whatever? Remember, I'm getting ready to show you how you can make 30% or more on every deal, right? So on our agreements, it talks about closing costs, and here it is on page 2, right? Is this page 2? Yeah, page 2. It says basically a buyer may use to pay any cost or expense a buyer related to this transaction, any commissions, any buyer commissions, anything that a buyer will be required to pay, they can use closing costs for. Here it is right here, 3A, if you're in Georgia, right? Probably your documents have the same things, because I'm getting ready to show you how we get paid 33% more on transactions, okay? So you guys, I want you to know it's on page 2 if you're in Georgia. It's under closing costs, and here it is. It says a buyer may use to pay any cost, any or expense a buyer related to this transaction, including without limitation, any commissions, obligations of the buyer. That means you could get the seller to contribute closing costs, and your buyer could agree to use this closing cost to pay your commission if there's excessive commission outside of what the seller's willing to pay. You guys, if you can see that, give me a thumbs up, because I get too many calls on this. All right, so don't call me about this anymore. All right, perfect. All right, it's right here on the contract. The lawyers in Georgia wrote this. I did not write this. The lawyers did this. They can use it for any amount. So when you get a listing agreement that says, all right, I agreed to $10,000 in closing costs, and I see on the altar at closing, you only needed 7, and the buyer paid you personally, your brokerage, another $3,000. My seller doesn't want to pay you $3,000 more dollars. Well, it's too late, buddy, right? It's too late, right?
Anthony, I have a question and related to that. I'm sorry. When it comes to that altar, my last closing, because I had this type of agreement, the title company wouldn't put it on the buyer's side. They said it wasn't legal. Have you heard that before?
I can't, there's no way I could hear it before, because here it is in legal writing.
All right.
Yeah. So that lets you know what?
They didn't know what they were doing.
You need to sit down with, if you're gonna use a closing attorney, you running a business, your closing attorney just took money out of your pocket. How much money was it?
It was a 0.5%, so it was about 13 grand. Excuse me, 1,300.
All right. If you close 10 deals, it will be 13 grand. So
right.
You need to have a $13,000 conversation with the law firms that you're using. That's why on my team, we only use one law firm, because years ago I sat Chris Little down and said, hey man, this is how we do business. Are you on board with how we do business? Here's the contract, what it says. He's like, yeah, AT, I'm good. I'm like, okay. So that's why if you're on my team, we only close deals with Parkway Law Group. We don't close, we fight for the title company because of things like what Ashley talked about. Because on my team, we have an agreement, a team agreement. If you want to give up $1,300 of your commission, you can go right ahead. But I'm still going to make my portion as a team leader on this team. So I would not advise you to do that. All right.
Well, I know Florida's different, but what did they actually say was the problem? Because that shouldn't.
Guys,
yeah,
please.
that doesn't make.
I gotta finish this training on time. Like y'all can have these conversations later. I gotta finish this training on time today.